Oh, dear.
Quiet on set.
All right. Well, thank you, London. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 14 of Oh Dear, presented by Bose Bar and Stage. And for the second time, we're back and at Communal Creative Studios by Bose. Really excited to be back here. It's been a hot minute since we've been here. Lots of changes in the studio, and it's really nice to be back. So this episode is sponsored by the Unparalleled Clothing Company. You're welcome, Dustin, for not making you say it. So owner Jarrett Smith, we're going to hear from him in a little bit. The first ever interview in a studio too. He came up from Calgary and did the interview with us. So we're going to hear that in a little bit. And got to say, we're not really the masters of timing, because the first episode we did all together again, last one was on a boat. It was like 8 degrees on a Tuesday afternoon. Now, this one, we're a little ahead of schedule filming. So it's right in the middle of the heat wave. It's like 35 degrees and we're inside. So we kind of might have flip-flopped those two, but either way, happy to be here. Happy to be back hanging out with Ryan and Riley as well, who I'm sure are happy to be out of the elements. You don't have no hats. There's no hoodies over the cameras or anything like that. And next time we'll give you guys the canopy, at least on the boat. We'll switch spots. And of course, I'm Ted Emmett. Happy to be with you once again. And as always, joined by three of the, I was going to say best, or just three of the people in Red Deer, starting with someone who's going to go very far in life, and we all hope he stays there. Dustin Moore, how's it going?
I'm good, Teddy. It's been a busy start to summer. Like you said, we're in the middle of a heat wave, and I think you're the only guy who has ever created something to detect sweat. What do you call it again? Humid titties? Or sorry, humidity. But I'm good. July 1st can't come soon enough with the changes to even get out of our stage 3.
That's a good joke. You broke a sweat thinking of it too.
Walsh's eyes just lit up when you said that out
All right,
loud.
move on. You can go to the next guy. I'm pretty happy with where that went.
Well, and when he starts talking, we all stop listening. Kevin Walsh, how's it going?
Ooh. That you said you were going to go hard, and that hurt a lot.
Yeah, this has to get us through the whole summer. This is our only summer episode.
Yeah. Well, as my good friend Ryan Lund would say, I'm beeping fantastic. As Morsey said, we're in the middle of a heat wave, and you know what? My kids started soccer last week, so after a year and a half of COVID, I'm finally feeling like an actual dad, which is kind of weird to say, but and I'll tell you what, we showed up at the Collicut field for soccer, and this is like 7-year-olds and under soccer, and we show up and my daughter's like, Dad, there's like 100 people here. I said, there's like 300 people here. It is an absolute zoo. So we had the first day, like you can't park anywhere, there's kids everywhere, and my wife goes, oh, we should like set up a lemonade stand right by there. And I thought, well, the city probably makes you get a business license or something like that. Well, we show up on Thursday and there's an ice cream truck in the parking lot of Notre Dame. And I thought, oh, we missed our opportunity. So anyways, I'm doing great.
And that's all the time we have. We'll see you guys in September. And just a disclaimer, you reminded me, it's end of June right now. We're filming it a little bit ahead of time because summer is busy. So a lot can change in 2 weeks. Take that with a grain of salt. And as always, last but not least, the man whose birth certificate is just an apology letter from the condom company, Ryan Lund. How's it going?
Okay, mine wasn't so bad.
Hey, you're always nice to Lundy.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
That's because I was so strong, I broke through the condom. Just shows my inner drive and perseverance.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ted.
You and Michael Phelps.
Yeah. One and the same. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I got a good base tan now, so I'm hoping to get lots more sunshine for the next 2 months. And yeah, I know it's the summer of Ted, but I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to ride your coattails a little bit. And
Summer of Ted is for everyone. I just want to make that clear.
okay.
It's like for you, Christmas was a feeling. Summer of Ted is just a mindset.
Okay.
Just
good.
enjoy yourself. That's it.
Yeah, we're off to a banging start.
Yeah.
So let's keep it up.
And after 13 episodes, we finally learned, well, I think we always knew, but we finally accepted that we need some adult supervision. So now, at least for this episode, we'll see if she ever wants to come back. Coworker Erin is in studio with us as well. She's going to be our official ad reader, yeah, from now on, because I'm just the complaint hotline from all our partners and saying, if you make Ryan Lund do one more ad read, you guys, for described audio, I don't know, there's some weird touching going on the couch over there, which is fine. COVID's expired now in Alberta, so you're allowed to do that. But Erin's here by popular demand from Erin.
Yeah.
And we're not going to say anything mean about you because we want you to keep helping us with the podcast. So I'm just going to ask, how's it going? And welcome.
Thank you. It's going great. If you wanted adult supervision, you definitely called the wrong person, but I'm very excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, so far, even before that, we just learned weird stuff about Amelia Bedelia, and it was a weird start already.
She's a treasure.
Yeah, she sounds like a lovely young or old woman.
There is a discrepancy between the books that I read as a child and the books that Walsh reads his child.
Maybe Amelia Bedelia is also just a mindset.
Yes.
Maybe.
Not a person, yeah.
Maybe.
I don't
Or
know.
Benjamin Button.
So
In
wherever
the kids' books, she's a real pain in the ass.
well, wherever she is, we wish her well.
All right, off to a flying start. But all joking aside, it is awesome to be back here. We're in the studio again, just for the second time. We were here once in March and kind of had to shut things down. And like I said, COVID's over in Alberta, apparently. So we're back here. We're hanging out on the couches in front of the green screen too. So hopefully we're going to do some fun stuff with this episode.
I think it's important to say too that we're all double vaccinated and we're all Pfizered up and ready to go.
It's a 2-dose hot girl best summer of Ted ever, right? Is that all the different social media things?
Waxed
Mashed
and
into one?
waxed, baby.
Yeah. Well, that's Lund. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah, man, I feel like we're 30 minutes in already. Disclaimer, everyone, this is going to be a long episode because we're trying to get a whole summer's worth of our crap jammed into this. But we do have something really exciting going on this summer too, that when the episode comes out is a perfect time. It'll be on social media already. But again, I've talked a lot already. So Dustin, what's going on August 21st?
Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. We're going to be doing some sort of a live party. Oh Dear, along with Troubled Tea, are going to be putting on an event at Bo's. Tickets are on sale already, so get yours before it's sold out because we're going to sell out fast. I got a feeling.
I think so too, yeah. And important to say too, with your ticket, you do get a free can of Troubled Tea. So that's, worth the price of admission. And as usual too, I believe Brendan always provides the appetizer buffet, which is a big draw. So you get a good bang for your buck. You don't even have to listen to us. We're going to attempt a live show. We're going to see how it goes, bring on some other entertainment. And I don't know, I think we should call it the best summer ever bash at Bo's because we're all about the best summer ever this year.
I think we're all in. Ted, we sat down and had this conversation and we were a little hesitant, me, Kev, and Lundy. And after talking with you and your confidence in us selling tickets, I think we're going to put on a pretty good show. I know we're good at telling stories and bullshitting and we'll have some fun audience interaction and really it's just going to be a party and support our good friends at Bo's.
I don't think it was Ted convincing us. He said, we're doing it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fair
We
enough.
just have to figure out a day.
Yeah.
And we bickered with him for an hour and we didn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're going to be glad that I threw the hammer down like that because I believe in you guys, which is strange. I thought it would be the other way around, but I believe in you guys and I think it's going to be a great night.
Let's just call the show Free Food and Booze. And then that way we'll get everyone there.
That's why I want to call it the best summer ever and not Oh Dear Live. We're going to trick people.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
a banker and you don't understand the concept of free.
Kev, yeah, unlimited appetizer buffet. You can steal as many teas as you want from your buddies.
But
What's
you
not
still
free
had
about
to
that?
pay for the ticket.
Well, not if you play your cards right.
So again, that's Saturday, August 21st. Again, check it out on social media. You'll be able to find all the ticket information there and just get a hold of one of us for tickets too. I think it's going to be a pretty awesome night and pretty cool that just to be able, I know Bo's has a lot of live shows coming up and it's just going to be awesome. Again, we've had some great nights, fundraisers at Bo's before. And I think that for me, that was it, is just to be able to get back there and do something like that is going to be awesome.
Don't forget, it's featuring guest star Amelia Bedelia, who'll be drawing drapes and dressing turkeys.
How did we score her?
I know, people.
Are you going to play the part of Amelia Bedelia? Because
Yeah.
Lund has some other things that he
Yeah.
wanted Amelia Bedelia to do that we're not
Yeah.
going to talk about on
It
here.
looks like we might have some weird play set up that night.
I guess it is 18 plus. So
Yeah.
Anything goes.
yeah.
The Oh Dear Live show and some other weird shit.
Yeah. Well, let's call it that.
All right. Well, if anyone's still listening, I think that's a perfect spot to not only move into the Glad game, but to put coworker Erin to work here and see if this was a good hire or not. And by hire, I mean asked her to come and spend her Monday night with us for nothing.
You're getting what you pay for with this. The Glad Game is brought to you by Gord's Smoke Shop. It's smoking hot outside, but Gord's has lots of cool new products for your summer adventures. Their cigar Their cigar humidors. Nope. God damn it.
Hey, I've been there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Their cigar humidors are stocked and ready for your trip to the golf course. Keep your smoke and shit together when you're on the go with smell-proof stash bags and containers. And don't be that person who starts a forest fire by smoking. Gourds has safe and smokeless ways to puff or eat your favorite flower. Too hot to move? Shop online at gourdsmokeshop.ca and get gourds delivered or shipped with $4.20 delivery within Red Deer. That's $4.20, plus free Canada-wide shipping on orders over $99. Some exceptions apply. Or pop into Gourds and enjoy their air conditioning at 2310 Gates Ave, next door to Beau's Bar and Stage and for lovers only. Gourds Smoke Shop. Everything you need but the weed.
Oh my God, that was incredible.
Great job.
Cigar humidors.
Yeah,
Great
cigar
job.
humidor got you, but still, good job. You're hired.
Yeah, I think good job, Aaron, and good job, Gourds, for that.
Yeah.
That right. That's incredible.
Well, okay, I can go first. I'm glad that Aaron is here to do our ad reads.
Is that all you got?
No. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I am glad actually recently now in the news. I know we've talked about this before, Red Deer College gaining Polytechnic status, but now they actually have a name. Not really a surprising one, but they're officially Red Deer Polytechnic. And I'm not excited about the name, but again, just kind of be reminded of that. And I think the only graduate of a Polytechnic school here, I believe. And I just think obviously a little disappointing in a lot of ways that they didn't get university status. But I think with Polytechnic, you get the best of both worlds, right? Like you can get a degree, you have the trades. Obviously, I did the broadcasting program at SAIT in Calgary. So just excited to see things move forward for that and knowing the opportunities that it offers. And hopefully maybe they do have a broadcasting program because I just think that would be pretty cool to see. So
I'll go next. I know Teddy always gets mad at us for going long, but you already warned the viewers that we're going to be a little longer this episode. So I have two tonight. The first one goes out. My daughter's birthday was about a week ago, and it was the day after the Waterbury Open, our little fun golf tournament that branch off the Chubbs, which we're going to talk about later. But it ended up being a fairly early night for me. I got home, around 8:00, so I could be ready for her birthday party. And you, Ted, and you, Lund, and Kevin Strybosh, the athletes, were nice enough to come over at 2:00 the next day and dress up in Sesame Street mascot costumes. So that's my number one glad game, because I know you guys had a little later night than me, and it was plus 30 out.
yeah, and I got to say, the athlete made the most physically imposing Elmo I have ever seen. Like, no wonder Bryn was scared.
And the best part about that, because she was very afraid that day, but the best part about it, she talks about it a ton still. And she always goes back to, Ernie wished me happy birthday. And that was Lundy. So
Yeah.
that makes me glad that I have friends like that that'll do some weird stuff. But my second glad
You have
game
no idea.
goes out to Dave McAnenley. We all know him. He's the handiest guy around. He took 2 nights, before our first camping trip with our new trailer to come over and help me out instead of going out and getting his stuff ready. And then once we were camping, he helped me out with, I think, our water pump, our AC, like just figuring it all out. And I'm not a handy guy at all. And I know Kev's, we're in the same boat, and your father-in-law is super handy. So really appreciative of people. And it makes me really glad that there's people in my life that can help me out like that.
Sounds like you just have a shitty trailer, man.
No, it's a great, you're just it's a beautiful new trailer. It's a little big for what we need, but just trying to figure out all the little quirks that it's got in it. And Dave helped me get there. So I'm happy for you, Dave.
Hey, man, I've seen your diet. You'll grow into it.
Ooh, easy humid titties.
No body shaming, gentlemen.
Yeah, I thought you said human titties. I was like, what else would they be?
Yeah, I guess alien titties would have been more offensive.
All right, well, Kevin, would you like to follow that up?
Yeah, so I'm really glad that here in Red Deer, we actually have two Olympians that have just been announced. So one is Tammy Cunnington, who is in the Paralympic Games for swimming, and Rebecca Smith, who's in the Tokyo Olympic Games. I'm lucky enough, I actually know Rebecca's father and her grandparents. A wonderful family, very active in the community. And she's been training, I think from a young age. She was, a high-level swimmer, and she's actually lived in Toronto since she was 16 years old. So she's been training this for a long time, and it's great to see her get some recognition. And I'm really going to be rooting for Team Canada swimming in this Olympics in the next few weeks.
Lundy, you're not the best swimmer in town anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I had to pass the mantle on sooner or later, I guess. But no, that's pretty cool. We've got two 2 Olympians coming from our city. Did not know that. So my thing I'm also glad for also has to do with the city of Red Deer. I read earlier today that you're having a Meet the Street Arts and Culture Festival on September 3rd to 5th. So it's just going to be celebrating music, visual and performance arts. It's going to be similar to Centerfest or some of those other street festivals in Calgary and Edmonton. So it's just another step we're getting to get back to normal. So hopefully that one goes ahead without a hitch, as it's about 2 months away from now, or a month and a half from when this airs. And hopefully I'll be able to get to attend to it and check out some new artists.
Yeah, we could use some culture, I think. And not just, us specifically, but I think everyone, right? Not being able to do that stuff. So it'll be pretty cool. And hopefully we see lots of stuff this summer. And hey, because you're here, Aaron, and this is already going to be a 6-hour episode, do you have anything you're glad about?
I'm just really glad for you guys and being here in person. So.
Oh, so nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing good.
Yeah. Aaron, we're glad for you too.
Thank you.
Teddy already used that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't be glad Aaron's here.
Yeah.
Okay, I take it back, Aaron. I'm not glad.
But it meant more coming from you.
Yeah, go pound sand, Aaron.
Yeah. All right. Well, you two figure this out. I think it's a good time to cut to our feature guest. Again, we had Jarrett Smith from Unparalleled Clothing Company in here just before we started recording. Again, our first interview in here in the studio, which was pretty cool. And he came up, and some pretty cool stuff in this one. So here we go. All right. Well, now it's time for our very first interview in studio, and someone who has been itching to come in and hang out with us. You've heard a lot about him. You've heard a lot about Unparalleled. Jarrett Smith, welcome to the casting couch, basically. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I got 3 cameras and Moore's inching closer towards me. So I feel like I'm on casting couch.
Dustin, we'll keep an eye on Dustin.
Yeah, my hand's behind the couch for now.
This obviously interview hasn't made the cut yet, so we'll see how you do and see if this makes it into episode 14 or not.
Sounds good.
The bar is pretty low.
So first off, I guess talk a bit about yourself. You know, you're what I like to call a Red Deer transplant, living in Calgary now, but from Fort McMurray, right? And came here to play your AAA hockey?
Yeah, and actually I came down before that in grade 6 for a year, and then we moved back to Fort Mac, and then I moved back down in the summer going into grade 9, and then went back to Fort Mac just before grad in grade 12, and then stayed there for first half of my junior year, my first year.
So what makes you keep coming back?
Grandma's cooking.
It's a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that mic noise in, Dustin, because that was Dustin's belly hitting the mic stand.
That thing's not getting smaller.
When he laughed.
Hopefully come July 1st, I can get rid of this barrel, but for now it's here.
So, Jarrett, this is the kind of professionalism you can expect for like the next half hour or so. So let's start. Let's talk about Unparalleled. You know, it's something you're a pretty young guy, definitely a lot younger than us, and something you've started now, been going for a couple of years, and it's really grown into a lot, right? You started, I think, as headwear, and now you're into almost everything.
Yeah, it actually started as a project for a university course. We had to create a business, so I didn't really know what to create because everyone was creating all these crazy ideas that were just basically on a sheet and nothing was coming of it. So I wanted to actually create something that gave me experience. So I thought, why not a clothing brand? And I started with, 10 hats, 10 shirts, and then just kind of went from there. And then I found that the headwear was doing really good. So I did that for 2 years, and then people kind of started asking for more. So then I started putting out different stuff, and now I'm kind of trying to tailor towards, sports teams and golf courses too on doing their custom orders, just because of, I guess, the price savings that I can provide. Whereas, going through another supplier where there's maybe 4 or 5 different people in the supply chain, there's just me and my supplier. So I can, save costs there.
So do you do all the design of everything?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I kind of find ideas and trying to implement what I want to do with them. And then I have a graphic designer that I work with who's actually my roommate's girlfriend. So it's pretty handy.
Nice.
So with Unparalleled, because getting to know you the last couple of years through the wrestlers and stuff, on social media, it's you have the apparel company, but it's also almost like a lifestyle thing with some of the videos you got out, and it's really cool. But is it just you with Unparalleled, or do you have partners, or like you said, you had graphic designers and people that help out, but is it basically just you behind the scenes?
Yeah, right now. And then obviously like a lot of my friends help push sales to other people and get it to grow, and just kind of meeting the right people. Like I played with David Boychuk in Stony Plain. So his brother's Johnny Boychuk. And last year in the bubble, he put in like a 50 hat order and all the Islanders were rocking it around the bubble. So just little things like that to help the brand grow. And a couple years ago with Manziel going to the CFL, I kind of took a shot in the dark, sent him a bunch of hats, and then he was rocking 2 in TSN interviews, and then he turned around and ordered, like a $500 order. So it's just little things like that, and friends and family helping the brand grow, and kind of trying to come up with new ideas to put things that you might not see in stores out there, or just combining ideas and putting them out there.
And now you have Ryan Lund wearing the Unparalleled logo and with his 112 Instagram followers and 2 photos.
Yeah, but it's trending upwards, so I'm gonna be hitting those Manziel Boychuk numbers real soon.
Yeah, I heard you applied for the blue check mark too.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
did.
True? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want someone stealing my brand. So, speaking of your brand, where did the name Unparalleled come from?
Beer brand.
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Were you meaning to say gear brand?
I don't know what I was meaning to say.
Have another drink.
My question was, where did the name Unparalleled come from?
I honestly don't really know. It's just a word that I stumbled upon and didn't really know what it meant. So I Googled it, just, meaning nothing's the same, right? When I kind of look at everyone's life, like no one has similar paths and everyone goes through different, adversity and different things to get to where they're going. So I think that everyone's path is pretty unparalleled in a way. So I thought it was fitting. So that's why I chose that name.
Well, it's funny. You stumbled upon it on the name, and Dustin stumbles on it every time he tries to say it.
Or spell it too. Those too many L's at the end of that thing. I was like, man.
That is when you have to look like which L is where, and yeah, I still have to look every time I write it out, like on social media and stuff, just to make sure.
Don't worry. When I have to say it on the phone to people, like giving my email, I gotta like read it off my card to make sure I'm doing it right. So.
And so now you're posted up in Calgary. Let's talk a little bit more about, because you're a little bit of an entrepreneur. You have a microgreen business going too.
Yeah, so this is just kind of phase 1 right now with the vertical farm. So what we did was we took shipping containers and converted these shipping containers into basically, full-on grow units with electricity and stuff, and made it basically a 365-day farm in there. So with one shipping container, you can actually farm about 3 acres of land in there, which is pretty crazy to think about. But the idea came from going to the grocery store in COVID and having no good produce and having to resort to frozen veggies because of supply chain hiccups and bottlenecks with the borders being closed. So I thought it might be a good idea to try and do something like that. And I met someone who was like-minded, and, we're just kind of getting started right now. But the plan moving forward is to move, I wouldn't say away from microgreens, but expand into things like tomatoes and strawberries and raspberries and garlic and just stuff that, you don't get to grow all year round in Canada just because the growing season is only, 4, maybe 5 months. So having the ability to do it indoors, all year round is something that I think is also trending upward in the world. And you see places like California throwing, a couple $100 million. There's $1 billion vertical farm put in there. So I think it's the way of the future in some capacity.
Well, you're speaking to a guy who owns 2 strawberry plants. So
if you need 4 strawberries for an order,
if you need any advice or any helpful hints, I'm your guy. And I've also planted some peppers, some lettuce. Although the lettuce
how's the lettuce doing?
Lettuce isn't doing too hot right now, but this is my first foray into backyard gardening.
Yeah.
And I'm killing it, man. So if you're looking for a third partner in your storage microgreen business,
you better call Lund's mom, because she's the one who planted all of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the guy hasn't weed whacked in about 4 years either. So just maybe take a quick peek in his backyard before you actually go down that path.
Yeah, we got rules we got to follow at the shop. We got to try to get our GAP approval here. We can't be having garbage laying around.
We'll hire someone for that, man.
I was going to consult you.
I'll be a consultant.
Okay.
That's my specialty.
But really, those microgreens, like, they really are trendy. I see them now, like a lot of farmers markets, like you can kind of buy them prepackaged for meals and stuff. And I mean, obviously I'm a guy who eats a lot of vegetables just by looking at me, but they're pretty good too. So when I heard, actually Mike Dempster told us that you were going into that, I thought that's a a pretty cool venture too. So you got your hand in a couple different things right now.
Yeah, honestly, if you would have asked me like even a year ago if this is what I'd be doing, I probably would have called you like insane. But it is like, obviously health and wellness is important. That's obviously played a big factor in my life. But I just think that, you know, we got to support more locally in Canada. Like COVID made me realize like how much we depend on other countries for our produce when we can produce it here ourselves, right? So keep that money locally and provide good products, and we won't have to rely on, you know, places like California and New Mexico and stuff like that. So,
well, and I'm going to jump a bit because when you talk about relying on other places, you told me a story a little while back. You know, you with Unparalleled, you've had some supplier issues, especially through COVID, and a pretty interesting happening between two different suppliers overseas.
Yeah, so actually, this one guy having WhatsApp, like we all have it, but I probably get at least 10 messages a day from just random suppliers in Asia or Bangladesh or Pakistan. And this one guy, you know, he texted me and told me who he was. So I looked him up, and Instagram looked pretty legit. So I said, well, can you send me some samples? Like, I really don't want to place a big order. And so he sent me samples, and it happened to be actually a guy I know's brand out in Ontario. The material was good, so I placed a couple small orders and got them in good time. And then I placed like a big order, like $20,000. And, you know, as soon as he picked up the money, like just ghosted me for like a month. And so I'm sitting here wondering like, what is going on kind of thing. Like, I just ordered a bunch from you and you ghosted me. And so probably a month went by, and like, I'm just blowing up this guy's phone like an absolute like insane person, like calling him, texting him. Like, I got to the point where I'd actually get like a Bangladesh lawyer involved, and like there's times I was up at like 3 a.m. having like hour-long phone calls with this guy. And you know, pretty soon, you know, I'm sending this guy like $500 every couple days, and like look a month later and it's like a $10,000 like American lawyer bill in Pakistan. And like nothing even came of it either. Like, well, he blocked me, like I can't do anything. It's like, well, like he blocked me too, and he has my money and I don't have my clothing. So this one guy contacted me, and he was from Bangladesh as well. And he's like, we're so-and-so, like we work with these companies. And I was like, in all honesty, like I can't trust someone, you know, again with like big orders right now, because this just happened to me. And he's like, what's his address? And I was like, why, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to go get your clothing. And I was like, all right, well, here's like the invoice. This is his address. And he's like, yeah, like my best friend is the president of the Bangladesh clothing export, and my other best friend is head of like the Dhaka police. I was like, okay, like let's see what comes of this. And like 3 days later, he sent me a selfie with like all my boxes, and he's like, they're on the way, brother.
That's a good way to earn trust.
Yeah, so like that's eventually like that's who I work with now, and he's been honestly amazing. I fully just switched over to him 2 weeks ago after he switched companies and started his own thing and got away from his partner. So that's who I'll be doing everything through now. And you know, he works with big brands like Element, some Under Armour and stuff like that. So I know that he's like a reputable supplier.
He's like the Batman of clothing suppliers, like vigilante justice.
Yeah, like
its finest. Yeah.
I honestly just thought I was going to be out like $30,000 too. And I just came to terms with that until he sent it. And I was like, wow, like there actually is some good people left in this world, which is like, I don't even know if someone in Canada would do that for someone, honestly. So I was pretty shocked when it actually happened and they showed up. So
yeah, he's earning some business for sure. Like he did some good for you.
So after you got your clothing back, did you give that guy your lawyer's address to go get your 10 grand back from the lawyer?
No. That I probably got fleeced there for the amount of work he did. You know, like I don't actually know what he did besides a few emails and calls maybe, but I don't think it was worth what he got paid.
The phone. Oh, sorry, man. I tried.
Yeah, literally.
Just when you think you could trust a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you've done a lot too. Like, you know, we've got some hats from Stride too. You did some stuff for them. Talk a little bit more about that, because you're trying to really help out a lot of businesses kind of get their brands out there. You mentioned golf courses too.
after, I sat down with a golf course in Calgary and I heard what she was paying for, some other brands polos and kind of what she was spending. So she was having to spend about like $300K a year just on clothing, and she was stuck with probably like 200 of it at the end of the year. And it was all just to get deals on golf clubs. But, I said, like, does anyone like really buy golf clubs from courses? And she's like, no. And that's the thing. Like, I'm stuck with all these clubs that if I turn them into rentals, like they're just a waste of money. But I just want clothing that like I can not order that much through. So she did her entire order through me this year and saved her about, I'd say, 230 grand on her clothing. And it was all stuff for basically members. And then she was stuck with maybe like, 20 units to sell that she's already sold out of. So that's exactly what she wanted. And she got to save money. So when I gave her my pricing versus what she was paying, she was like, why is it so much lower? And it's like, well, like I basically run this from my phone and laptop out of my house. Like I have a storage place in my basement and I don't really have any overhead besides a website. So I can do those things. I mean, eventually I do want to get to like a small warehouse where I can, have orders going out and people sorting them. But I just think like right now, obviously, that some people are just paying way too much for what they're actually getting. And all the material too that you see, like whether it's, Lululemon's probably the hardest stuff to come by and replicate that material. But stuff like, I don't know if you guys have heard of Bad Birdie, like they're a pretty popular golf shirt. So like that fabric's easy to get. Travis Matthews stuff, the same fabric's pretty easy to get. Like all those materials can be outsourced through my supplier. It's just having to actually send them a physical sample so they can go to the market and buy the material. If you tell them a material and you don't actually send a physical sample, they'll be pretty mad at what you get because it's going to be nothing like you expected. So like a lot goes into purchasing materials, and probably to send a shirt to Bangladesh is like $110 for just a t-shirt just to ship over there. It's actually insane.
It's nuts. So you just find a shirt that you like or that's pretty popular right now, send it over there and they can replicate it 100%.
Yeah, it's just, for me, I think material is like the most important thing, because I think the last thing anyone wants to be in is a uncomfy dress shirt, right? Like,
yeah,
Walsh owns a clothing store and he's carrying State and Liberty, which is a pretty popular dress shirt. It's got that stretch. Like no one wants to be in cotton shirts anymore, right? Like they don't have that give to them. And I think, that's something that I think Lululemon definitely brought in, is like having that comfort and that durability to move around in. So when I want to put products out, like what's in the back of my mind at all times is the comfort. Like, can you wear this to the gym? Can you wear this to the bar? Or is this just like something that's streetwear? And for me, like I want to be able to wear it all places, because if I can't go home in Calgary and it's rush hour, like I want a comfy shirt that I can at least work out in, right?
So one of my burning questions coming into today was, we got the O'Deer hat, we got the O'Deer merch with you. So awesome, comfy, but it is like so weird to see other people wearing O'Deer stuff. How cool is it for you when you see other people in Calgary, Red Deer, Alberta, wherever, seeing Unparalleled gear?
It's honestly, it's pretty cool. Like I think it was more so in Red Deer, and now I'm starting to see it a little bit in Calgary, but probably I think the biggest shocker was when my friend was in Mexico before COVID. He was at a resort and some guy was wearing a bucket hat. Like I didn't even know the guy. So he just sent me a snap. He's like, who is this guy? I have no idea who that is. But it was a pretty cool picture to see. So, obviously I want to see the brand spreading, and I think it's come a long ways since just having your buddies purchase off you, but it's pretty cool to see stuff like that.
So what's your plan for the next 5 years? Just to stay local here, or kind of want to grow it Canada wide or beyond the borders there?
Hopefully win one of those COVID vaccine lotteries and shut it down. No, I'm kidding. No,
you're just gonna win Stampede tickets. Yeah.
No, I definitely want to grow it to the point where maybe I can be like a sponsor of some sort of league and start doing what places like CCM have done. And I'm not sure if I'd ever get into like the Jersey game, just because it's totally different. But I'd like to I think for this year or the next 2 years, my plan is to have 10 sports teams, maybe 3 or 4 universities, and 10 golf courses, and I think that'd be a pretty good start. So I think just keep trying to grow that way and help the brand get out there, and eventually just be kind of a wholesaler and have limited edition runs of the brand is the way to go, because of the less inventory you got to worry about. It's definitely less of a headache as a business owner.
I can speak to that. I'm going to ask a question on behalf of Lundy here. He wants to know, when are you making a pineapple shirt?
Yeah,
That is a good question.
That's a great question, actually.
I got a pineapple bucket hat coming.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's good, because I own pineapple shorts, pineapple shirt, but no pineapple hat.
It's on the fridge it's a
Big
to do.
pineapple guy,
Get a
eh?
pineapple bucket hat.
Are you going to get into the shoe game too? Because I'd love some pineapple shoes.
No, I'm a big Nike guy. I think we all seen how LeVar Ball tried to design his own shoes. I don't think I want to take on that big of a headache.
There's a local guy, right, that would paint some shoes for you.
Yeah, shout out Falsey.
Might be the same guy who did the
Eli
Vancouver
Falls.
Canucks shoes.
I think I had them do. My mom got me some Vancouver Canucks shoes like 5 or 6 years ago, and yeah, they were great.
Yeah, he's an awesome artist. I have to still go buy the shoes. I've been meaning to. I want to get the Nike, like in the old school cartoon Mighty Duck goalie with the mask on. I want to get the swoosh painted like that.
That's sweet.
Back to the bucket hats, because this year, our Chubbs Golf Tournament, we're going with Unparalleled apparel.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We're going to be
you
peacocking.
did it. You said it.
We're going to be peacocking around that golf course with our sweet floral Unparalleled golf shirts and our bucket hat, and I cannot wait to see.
That's a loud outfit.
Yeah.
Like, you guys need to get some loudmouth pants for that outfit, and like you guys might make it on like Barstool or something.
I mean, only like 80% of the guys will be wearing those shirts, because the other 20 won't be wearing any shirt. This is the way it usually goes.
Lundy's going to be wearing the floral shirt. He would be wearing the bucket hat, and then he'll have some sort of wild other pattern on his
the
pants.
shorts that could not clash more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think what you're hearing right now is jealousy.
We'll
Smitty.
keep Lundy out of the main picture that we submit back to the city.
Well, you won't be able
Just
to keep
make
me
sure
out
he's
when I
wearing
win.
pants. Just make sure he's wearing pants.
Well, on that note too, like you gave us a great deal on that too, and I'm guessing it's going to go up next year. It was kind of an entry one. And you should, because it comes out of Dustin's pocket anyways. But you have done and continue to do a lot of stuff too. Like for our Oh Dear apparel, you gave us the opportunity to raise some money for charity too. You gave us a pretty big chunk of that back, and you've done that a lot too. So that's obviously something that's important to you too, right? Is giving back to the community.
Yeah, I think so, and especially in certain causes like last year, I had like the Frontline Strong hats. My mom's a nurse. I got a lot of friends who are nurses, and my uncle's a doctor. So that's something that I wanted to do for, the frontline workers. But I think coming up, I haven't even really released it yet on social media or anything, but I had my graphic designer, she came up with a design for Orange T-shirt Day. So we're probably going to put those on sale middle of July, and then cut it off in the middle of August, just so I can have that half a month for them to get in and get the people. And with that, I think, you see like I'm Métis, so you see like a lot of like standard Every Child Matters shirt, and I wanted to come up with a design that was a little different. And so, yeah, we'll have those on sale hopefully in middle of July here and get enough sold. And I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with the proceeds yet. One idea was maybe a scholarship to start. One idea was just to donate it to a fund, but I definitely want to do something to help Indigenous people.
That's amazing.
Yeah, good for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was going to be my last question too, is, with your Métis roots, obviously something too. June was Indigenous History Month as well. Like, how do you keep celebrating your roots? I know on social media, we see a lot of posts from that too, but how important is that to you? I guess the example too with the T-shirt is a perfect one, that it is a pretty big thing for you still.
Yeah, and it's funny, it's like growing up, I never, I was never brought to anything really Indigenous like you see on reservations or powwows or celebrations like that. But I think just like getting older and realize where part of your ancestors come from, and finding out, kind of now what's coming to light, what people went through, it's going to make it more important for me and, hopefully my kids. But I actually, I'm in school right now. I'm taking my MBA at the University of Calgary. I took a sustainable business development course with Indigenous people during block week, and during block week in May, and it was actually like pretty insane because my prof, like I had him for 2 days, and he actually passed away on Tuesday night of that week. He was in one of the bear attacks that was in Kananaskis earlier.
Oh no.
So like it was insane, but that whole week, like we learned, kind of what Indigenous people went through, and we had a residential school survivor talk to us, and it was just like, I think everyone in the class like cried at some point, and just seeing, how mistreated Indigenous people have been and how it's kind of been swept under the rug for so many years. I think that in this, day and age with social media and how easy it is for people to see things, I think that it's, if there was ever a right time for things to come out, it's kind of now to show, and educate people, right? So
yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is just educate people. You wonder, you look back and you wonder why it was never taught. And when the first residential school came out with the 215 graves, I remember saying to my wife, I never knew about this. I never heard of residential schools, and I wondered why. And now, like you said, being educated and learning, and it's so sad, and you never want to learn about it, but it's really important too for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And even with what happened, last week, and I think it's just like kind of the beginning of what is going to be, found in the coming years and coming months, right? So yeah, it's important to get educated now, because I don't know exactly what's going to come to the light in the coming months, but I don't think it's going to be anything good. So
I've been learning a lot about it, and before kind of all this came to light, you had heard about it, but I always thought that it was like way in the past. And I saw a comment just last week that said the last residential school closed when Friends was the number one TV show on TV.
Wow.
Well, Friends started in 94.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's not ancient history at all. Us four were alive then. And again, we didn't know anything about it growing up, and now we're learning about it, and it's very sad. And you're right. I think we're going to learn more, and it's not going to be good, but hopefully, humanity and all of us can learn from that, and hopefully some reconciliation can happen.
Well, I think just with Jarrett and Unparalleled too, just the step you're taking in making a shirt and proceeds going to some sort of cause is amazing. Like, gives me chills a little bit sitting on the couch beside you, and I look forward to getting my orange shirt here in July.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And we appreciate you coming and talking about this too, because it's always, no matter who you are, it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, but an important one. So we do appreciate you sharing that too. I know it's been a little while since we've had some real talk on here, so it is. I don't know if the word is nice, but I'm glad that we can talk about this type of thing and have an Indigenous role model on here too, like yourself, to share that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
And so let me just recap here. Unparalleled, the microgreen business, you're taking your MBA and you do most of the Unparalleled stuff by yourself. Like, what do you like to do in your free time?
Last year I really got into golf, and I go to the gym every morning. That's how I start my day. So that's kind of what.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do anything, but
He does one squat when he gets out of bed.
I've done 2 barrel bumps on this mic.
Well, I heard Blackfield's Bulldogs gym's almost done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll probably see that never, but
we'll get Al Parada. He'll get you in there.
I was on that bike for an hour today. But yeah, did you pedal though?
No, actually, I just got a puppy in February, so he takes up a lot of my free time with me and my girlfriend. So I know he's still a handful at 6 months old. He's almost 60 pounds, so he's going to be a unit.
What type of dog is it?
He's a mix between a Rottweiler, a German Shepherd, and a Lab. So
It's just a little.
So he's a big boy.
yeah, he's a big boy. But actually, on Saturday, he actually swam for his first time in the Elbow River. So it's pretty fun to see him just paddle around out there. And then when he got, like, my girlfriend's legs just all scratched up because he kind of got taken away by the current a little bit, and he just looked for someone's leg to cling on and just scratched her. So yeah, he hits the panic button pretty hard right now. And
See, I'm not the only one who does that.
Yeah,
we just let you keep floating though.
Or teaching Ted how to swim right now too. So it's going about the same.
Is that why you brought water wings today?
Yeah. Safety first with this guy.
So one last question. Are you going to play Red Deer Rustlers again this coming season? Because I know you commute to play too, but you've been playing in Central Alberta a couple of years. You were at Sylvan Lake the first year because Dustin didn't let you on the team.
Hold on. We were full. And then I remember playing Sylvan Lake the first game, and Dempster and Pess and all those guys, they were so competitive. And I think you scored 2 goals that night. And I remember going, oh my God, that guy's got a pro shot. Is that Jarrett Smith that you guys were like that Ricks and those guys were talking about coming to our team? Oh no. Dems goes, yeah, we'll get him in next year. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're gonna make some cuts next year.
Ryan Lund.
Yeah, Ryan Lund. Go on.
Actually, Lund stepped down for you.
I graciously stepped away from the game just to recharge. Probably gonna come back in about 3 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna play one more year. If we would have went to provincials and won, I probably would have stopped playing. But I feel like you got to give it one more year after COVID. I don't know. It was pretty unexpected. Like, it was just an abrupt halt. Like, I mean, we're down 2-0 to Daysland, but we're still going to provincials. And I thought maybe, if a couple guys didn't go out so much in Lethbridge, maybe we'd win.
You would have been in trouble.
We might have, but I feel like every team would have.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we're going to get to the casting couch part of this interview, which is going to be off camera. So, and I guess if you're hearing this interview, everyone, then it went really well, and Smitty did great. But thank you again for coming on. You're a huge supporter of the podcast. Again, one of the first. You sponsored us. You sent us a bunch of gear. You helped us to do our own apparel, which is something we didn't even imagine would be possible, especially this soon. So lastly, it's just your chance to give everyone a plug where they can find you and what they can look forward to in the future.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. This is awesome to come on here, especially in a nice studio. I've never been in one of these before. So you can find us on Unparalleled CC on Instagram, and the website is unparalleledpw.com.
How many L's in Unparalleled?
Just Google it. Google does that autocorrect for spelling. So.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Lundy.
Yeah.
So again, a big thank you to Jarrett Smith from Unparalleled for coming up here, doing the interview, and of course sponsoring this episode. And a lot to unpack in that interview. Obviously, a pretty cool story from him, and too, we got to talk about some pretty important issues too. So really appreciate him sharing all that with us.
That was pretty cool. And for me, like, not only did Jarrett come down from Calgary to do this on a Monday night with us, but he sponsored the podcast. And then really, I don't know Jarrett all too well, but after tonight, just, doing a lot of learning of really what he's involved in and his heritage was really cool. And I learned a lot through that interview.
I want to hear some more Bangladesh stories. I feel like if we talk to him in six months from now, he might have one or two more. So we'll have to keep everyone posted with that.
Myself being involved in the clothing industry now, I've definitely run into some of those issues on a very much smaller scale. So I don't envy him having to deal with that, but I'm glad he found someone reliable that can help him out. And, after the interview, we had a chat, and hopefully we might be able to get some Unparalleled stuff on the shelves here in Red Deer soon.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'll come buy something from you.
Well, I think a live update for after the interview, we talked about the Chubbs stuff, and he actually loaded us up with our Chubb stuff for our August tournament, and we tried on the bucket hats, and stay tuned for pictures because those things are sick.
So I'm going to jumble things here in order because we're talking about the Chubbs already. So we might as well keep going with it. So Aaron, I'm going to throw you off. This is your first big test. We're going to jump ahead to story time here.
It's literally the next thing on my page, so that's perfect.
Oh, perfect.
You've ruined nothing for me.
Really threw a curveball.
Story time is brought to you by Beyond Insurance.
Oh yeah, this is London. I threw myself a curveball.
Do you want me to read your part too? It's going to be a beauty of a weekend, boys. Can't wait to get out there on the boat.
Lund is a deer in the headlights right now. He has no clue.
Lund, you and I are going to work with Aaron to do a little bit of live theater again. So here goes story time.
Sorry, did you say theater?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
Story time is brought to you by Beyond Insurance.
Oh my God, I don't have my...
This guy sucks.
It's going to be a beauty of a weekend, boys. I can't wait to get out there on the boat, ripping up the waves, my hair blowing in the wind.
Hey, Ted. Did you know Beyond Insurance does watercraft insurance? They can get you insured and on the water in no time.
Oh, I ad-libbed that part.
That's good. Head over to the team at Beyond Insurance. Did you know they're one of Red Deer's few remaining locally owned and operated brokerages? They'll ensure you understand the product you're purchasing and feel confident in managing your risk. Beyond Insurance will take the time to review all your insurance needs and offer customized solutions. They make it easy to bundle your auto, home, farm, and commercial insurance, including your boat or watercraft insurance. Find out more by visiting Beyond Insurance on social or at beyondinsurance.ca.
Good job by everyone but me being prepared for that.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep Aaron.
Yeah, I think so too. And so Beyond Insurance is a very fitting sponsor for this story time. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Chubbs, but just a couple weeks ago, we had our very first, Chubbs spin-off event in the Waterbury Open, just a one-day event. We went out, here in Red Deer and had a great golf tournament. I don't think anyone had more fun than birthday boy Matt Cassidy from Beyond Insurance. It was very nice of his wife too to come pick him up from the course. But hey, it was awesome that someone got to celebrate a birthday, and it was his first time doing anything Chubbs related, and he came out and had a great time.
And I was lucky enough to golf with Matt the last 9 of the 27 holes. So we had a great time. We ended up not even wanting to finish the golf. We just drove around and had a couple drinks, and it was a great time. I know Matt had a great time, and I know he'd come back in a heartbeat.
We ensured that he had a good time.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm done.
I talked to him, before we teed off. It was 8:30 a.m. and he was just so thankful to be there and that he got the invite.
He got the whipped cream shot at lunch that was replaced with sour cream. There's a hot tip for any of you pranksters out there.
Oh yeah, Aaron, you look horrified, Aaron.
Don't do that.
Well, so this is
a whole other story time.
This is a whole other story time, but I'll make it short. The guy passed his bar exam, and one of the restaurants we were at didn't have whipped cream, and we really wanted to get him the whipped cream shot, and so I told him to replace it with sour cream, and Lundy, to be honest, has done the blue cheese as well. So the pranksters are getting a lot of tips today.
Yeah, I would not recommend blue cheese in anything. It was disgusting.
Now that we've led up to story time, probably heard us talk about the Chubbs, and now as the summer goes on, basically up until mid-August, you might see it on our social media. The Chubbs does have a social media page too, but it sounds ridiculous, and I guess it is, but it's a big part of our lives. So I don't know if you guys can do first a Cole's notes about what the Chubbs is and what it's grown into, just because it's pretty cool. As much as it is just a guy's boozy golf trip, it's turned into kind of a cool little institution between our group of friends.
Yeah, I think anyone who knows us for, it's a huge part of our yearly event. We plan a lot of different fundraising events around and use the Chubbs as our platform, and really it's just a trip away for the guys. There's usually 28 to 32 of us that go away. I think we've raised over $35,000 now for local charities. One of our main charities that we've been donating to over the last 7 years has been Motion Ball Special Olympics, pretty close to, all of us, and we're happy to support, but we've donated to a lot of different causes, and really, yeah, like you said, it's just a weekend to get away. We have, some wine survivors. What else do we do? We have, a few hockey pools. There's a spin-off tournament called the Chubbettes with the wives now, because they were tired of us watching us have so much fun, that they have their own tournament now, and they're running little bachelorette pools. So really it's a fun weekend, a little bit of a gong show weekend, but at the same time we get to give back to a number of different local initiatives, and we modeled it around Happy Gilmore, which we've taken things way too far for those who know us. I mean, we're in a podcast now, for Christ's sake. So yeah, it's, you asked for Cole's notes, but you didn't get it. You didn't get it from me.
Yeah. Well, I think we're the name the Chubbs.
Yeah. So we're in year 8 now?
Yep.
Going into, and I remember, me and Morsey, we've been good buddies for a long time, and he kind of started this idea way back in year 1, and there was 12 of us, I think. And I remember you actually got some shirts made, and it was the alligator from Microsoft Word clip art was on our shirts, and the shirts are very, very poor quality. But anyways, it was, Morsey came up with this idea of let's just start something with our buddies where we can go and have a good time. And I think it was only maybe one day, maybe a 2-day thing
yeah,
in Red Deer. And we all know that Dustin doesn't know how to do math. And so back then I was kind of going to school for accounting. So he said, hey, can you help me track the money and stuff? And that's kind of where it all began. And it quickly turned into more guys. And then 3 days. And then we started going away to other places. And then probably year 2 or 3, we kind of said, well, we kind of felt bad. Everyone was starting to get married, and we thought we're leaving the wives alone and just going for a crazy weekend. So let's start raising money so we can at least feel good about ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't know what our wives thought about that, but we felt good about it. And you know what? It's turned into something where we've raised a ton of money. We have a waiting list of guys trying to get in. It's pretty infamous around Central Alberta and further than that. And so it's really awesome where it's gone. So Morsey, you took this idea from the movie Happy Gilmore and Adam Sandler, and we've turned it into something pretty crazy. And I just got to shout out your dad, Graham Moore. He's been in it since the beginning as well. We got some of the old guys every year, and they're a blast. And Graham's still searching for someone that knows Adam Sandler, because our whole goal is to get Adam Sandler to come to one of, or Chubbs Peterson.
Yeah.
I can't remember the actor's name, but
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, Carl Weathers. We're trying to get
Apollo Creed.
one of the actors to show up to the tournament.
Well, I think didn't the caddy show up last year?
yeah. Teddy's dressed up as the caddy a couple times.
I love both events. It's the only time like it's really okay for a 30-ish-year-old man to play dress up on the golf course and be like the cool guy for doing it.
First off, huge shout out, like you guys are saying, Dustin this, Dustin that. We have a 10-person board, and all 4 of you guys are on the
board. Which is hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious. Like we have 4 or 5 board meetings a year. We get out, we support local, we have some drinks, and we plan this golf tournament and help out with the girls' golf tournament too. But the funny story with Ted dressing up as the caddy from Happy Gilmore is he literally had the painter's suit. He had his hair slicked. He brought crackers for ball marks. He took one shoe off and walked around all day with one shoe.
Idea.
But off the first tee, this was pretty funny because not a whole lot of the women had watched Happy Gilmore before. And the one girl on the first tee box goes, "Who loses a shoe on the first hole?" Because he had set it off to the side. And Ted goes, "Hey, that's my shoe." And he's up on the tee box wearing one shoe. So like I said, we take things way too far. And the way we've modeled this tournament after Happy Gilmore with the jackets, the big checks, the trophy that Darren Eklund Diesel, he spent like $700 on. It's got an alligator head and a baby's hand in its mouth. Like it's far outrageous than I ever imagined it when we were 12. And it's sure cool looking back and seeing we've donated over $35,000. And, we're going to, keep going as long as we can with this thing.
To clarify, when we had 12 people, not when we were 12 years old.
Sorry, 12. Sorry, 12 people.
Well, Dustin probably would have been planning this.
Yeah, started making spreadsheets.
When he first saw the movie for the first time.
Biggest thing for this and why we're talking about it too is I want to encourage everyone to do something like this. Like I know a lot of people do their tournaments. It might not take it as seriously as us, but I came in year 3, and when I first started working with Dustin, it was right after you got back from your first Chubbs away trip, and you're telling these stories. I'm like, I don't know what the hell this tournament is, but I got to get in. So I weaseled my way in because Dustin was talking about maybe trying to do some social media and get it out there. And I'm like, hey, that's what I do. Like, put me in and I'll do it. And I might have bit off a little more than I can chew, but
that's how we got this guy.
Yeah.
But it's I got to say too, like the work that goes into it is amazing, but the networking and the friendships, I know absolutely everyone almost in Red Deer because of you, Dustin, right? And the Chubbs and that. So it's pretty amazing. And I don't know, come with a zillion stories from it. I don't know if anyone has any that we can tell that stick out right now, but I think let's get into the meat of story time here now that we're 40 minutes into it.
Hey, what happens on a Chubbs trip stays on a Chubbs trip. And the Chubbs wouldn't be the Chubbs without all the great sponsors we've had over the years. We've had so many local sponsors. I know Ryan from Famoso every year donates a great prize, and we're trying to get him to come. And I think eventually one year we'll be able to convince them. Bose every year donates a great prize.
And they kick us off every year too.
Yeah, we always, for every away trip, we go to their patio. They open up an hour early for us. But still at the time where you're allowed to serve alcohol. Of course.
Yeah.
And like we have a lot of business owners too that come on the trip, and they're more than willing to donate their time or donate a prize, and that's what makes this tournament so great in my opinion. So hopefully we can keep it going. I know we got some big plans for future years, and hopefully we can get it bigger and better than ever.
Okay, Teddy, you wanted one story. This is one we can tell that's sort of PG. So last year we expanded to 32 golfers. It was the first year we'd done that. I don't know if we'd do it again, but we had 6 mystery prizes. They were envelopes, and 3 of the prizes were really good. So the Chubbs bought a nice like $700 smoker. One was a beer fridge stocked full of beer. And I think the third one was a half price Chubbs for this year. And then the 3 non-great prizes were a leg waxing, a full leg waxing, 12 hours in Denny's, and getting egged by 12 eggs. Well, sure as shit, the 3 guys sitting on this couch minus Ted, or were you in that draw too?
Yeah.
You were in that draw too. So all four of the 6 of us had grabbed an envelope. Ted won the half price Chubb, so $500 or something.
And I was
off
one of the last
your fee.
27th person to pick.
Ryan Lund wins the 12 eggs, which we smoked him with on Antler Hill on the way home.
Yeah, that was a terrible way to end the weekend. I'll tell you that much.
That was the best way I've ever ended a Chubb.
It was
my
cold
God.
and windy too, wasn't it?
It was raining, and I had just drank for 3 days, and all I wanted to do is go home and crawl in my bed. And they said, no, we're stopping on top of Antler Hill. And we're going to egg you on the side of the highway. So I got hit with about 7 of the 12 eggs. Had some pretty good bruises, but I still would take that punishment over the other 2 punishments that you 2 guys got.
So we have 2 outstanding still before the tournament this year. Kev's got to go sit in Denny's for 12 hours. COVID's kind of been delaying him a little bit, but now we're eased off come July 1st, and he's going to have to do that.
And it's 12 hours straight. You can't leave for any reason.
Yeah, no, I know the rules.
No, I'm just explaining to our listeners.
Oh.
I've put in a way longer shift at Denny's sitting there than that. So you'll be fine, man. You're going to have a great time.
And then I got the leg waxing. So I think it's a week before the actual Chubbs this year in August, and I'm dreading that. But I mean, it's probably the most PG story we can tell. And for all those people out there that are 35 plus, you can still do stupid stuff like this and get away with it.
So I got a good story from last year because it was COVID, but at the time it was August. When we went down there, Lethbridge had zero cases. So we kind of fluked out, but we kind of told the guys, like, let's try and stay in our bubble because you got 32 guys. There are some single guys, so they like to, hit the dance floor and all that kind of stuff. And I remember, I think we were sitting in the brew house in Lethbridge and we all kind of stayed together. I thought everyone over the whole weekend did a great job, but I remember a couple girls kind of came up because they see all of us and we're kind of hard to miss.
Yeah,
because we're the drunkest guys in there. And
I was going to say good looking.
Best looking guys in the bar.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Well, some of us are. And
No.
these girls show up and I remember our one buddy was just like, they tried to start talking and they're like, screw off, we're in our bubble.
Yeah, get out of our bubble.
And that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, it was.
So we did our part.
My favorite thing
COVID.
about the Chubbs, and this is to no one's surprise, but why I love the Chubbs is because Ryan Lund is just a constant source of entertainment and for the most part in a wholesome way. He just has a great time. I remember the first night coming back. I don't know why this is it. Maybe this is only funny for me, but in his Ryan Lund way, he comes back to our room. He bought us McDonald's. It was like 2:30 in the morning and we're staying at the hotel. He opens the shades and goes, "Oh, what a view. You could see the Holiday Inn from here."
Yeah, I was just real impressed with that Holiday Inn.
I know I live with you, but being at the Chubbs and, it's just stuff like that with everyone, right? Obviously, there's a lot of people. And I know you even somehow forced Lund. You slept in Lund's bed one night. That's actually my favorite story. You got locked out of your room and took his bed and he shared a bed instead.
Kev was sleeping and he wasn't answering the door and I didn't have my key. And Lund, for some reason, you just got back with me too, actually. And his roommate was already sleeping. And we went in the room and I woke the roommate up with a McChicken to the head, I think. And he got up and got really mad at Lund and they wrestled for about half an hour. And I just snuck into the one guy's bed and went to sleep and woke up in the morning and Lund and his roommate are just sleeping together. So I got my own bed in somebody else's room.
Yeah, after our wrestling match, we just decided.
You almost fell asleep next to me too, and you decided to go back to your own room. But
I got one more story, so I won't name names, but it was it was our first year away in BC, and it was the first night, and we had a great time. We did our first ever trophy presentation to the prior year's winner. So, anyways, one of our buddies, he had too many to drink, and so he headed back to his room early. I think we were going to go for a late night hot tub, so I went back to the room to get my swim trunks on, and he's sleeping in the hallway of this Super 8 motel. Which was awesome to us, by the way. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? I kick him awake. And he's like, my key's not working. Well, I look in his hotel room door and he had his driver's license. And that's what he was trying to use as his hotel room key. It turned out he didn't have a key.
Turned out he wasn't even staying at that hotel.
You know what? But I really want to go in the hot tub, so I just kind of made sure he was on his stomach, and I got my swim trunks on, and I went back to the hot tub. And
Yeah, see you later, bud.
yeah,
The best spin-off off that story, because it got even better because he was my roommate. That night, we tucked him in once we got back from our hot tub, and we wrapped him up so tight in his cover that when his bed partner got back that night, he couldn't get him out of the sheets. He was like wrapped up so tightly in it. And so finally about 5 a.m, he's like freezing. So he had to get some covers. So he let him, and he woke him up, but he's a sleepwalker. So he slept, walked out of the room and sat in the hallway, and then woke up and realized he didn't have a key again. But he didn't want to go down to the hotel lobby because he was in his underwear. So he just sat out in the hallway for like 3 hours.
I got to tell one more story because we promised story time, and talking just about the tournament might be a little boring. We won't mention names again, but this was, I believe we were in Cranbrook, and one guy just really got into it during the day. Like when we golf, it's a 4-man scramble on the Saturday, usually the booziest day. And anyways, first we found him snoozing behind the clubhouse, and the person who found him said, well, I just thought, like, what would I do when I'm that drunk? And went and found him. But anyways, carrying him back up the stairs in the hotel, it was probably like 6:30, 7 p.m. And, there's one of our buddies who's a firefighter is carrying him, and he says to him, hey, do firefighters carry guns? And the guy goes, no, why? He goes, oh, because fucking kill me right now.
and then he proceeded to call Boston Pizza to order a pizza.
But didn't dial.
And he had like this 5-minute conversation with Boston Pizza, and we were all sitting there dying laughing, listening to this.
We brushed his teeth for him. And so that's the kind of stuff. Obviously, like, hey, everyone's been there. It's a pretty good time. And I think my favorite thing too is all the dressing up, right? We have the gator suits. Guys have to, some guys get caught on camera breaking a toilet in gator suits.
Sink.
Or sink.
Allegedly.
There's nothing like hearing... Well, we know who it was because it was a guy in a gator suit, and there's only 2 of those in the bar.
Yeah, the worst part of that whole story is I just set my beer on the sink because, lo and behold, there's Ryan Lenz out there that'll steal your beer. But I took it into the bathroom with me, and it tipped over in the sink and caused a little crack in it. And I offered to pay for it. Everything was good that way. But the worst part about the whole story was that at this restaurant, there was 15 individual stalls. And I think there was more women than male stalls. And the male stalls were all full. So I just went in the women's bathroom. And so when there was an actual sink broken and there was video of a gator going into the women's bathroom, I remember like just thinking, oh, what an idiot. Like such an innocent thing that went so wrong.
So lastly, Aaron, I have to ask, because you get to hear me and the athlete come back, tell her, what do you think as a complete outsider when you hear stuff about the Chubbs?
I love it. And I think that it's really great that you guys have taken your friendship group and built such like an amazing event for yourselves, and that you took the opportunity to give back. And I like hearing all of the stories because I get to hear the non-censored ones.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's for the kids.
It is for the kids. At the end of the day, $35,000 over, well, I know we're on year 8, but we never started raising money until year 3. So
when you say it's for the kids, you mean you guys, right?
Well, us and donating back to the youth of Central Alberta. So
for me, it's great that we can give back. And it's also awesome that, for those first couple of years, our significant others were a little annoyed and frustrated at all our shenanigans and being away for a weekend. And, I'm really glad that they took the initiative, and now there's a Chubbs tournament and they're doing great things, raising money. And it's also awesome to see all the ladies out. And I think that they have a lot of stories as well.
I got a lot of stories. Those girls surprised me. I got to say, when we go, because we go out and caddy for them too. And I love it. It's so much fun for us. Just they let loose, and they don't care, right? Like about the golf at all, which I think is a important lesson that I'll never learn. But yeah, I love the Chubbs too. Like the effort they put into it, and just how much fun the girls have out there is pretty awesome. Yeah,
if I ever shot 99 on 9 holes, I'm not sure I'd keep golfing, but they sure have a good time. And like you said, the caddying thing's pretty funny. We have leaderboard signs for them that's updated every hole. We have the live leaderboard on the app for them. We're in the painter suits. Like it's an awesome celebration for them. And we're just there to help them with it. And, you know, like you said, they have their own board now and they're doing their own things that have branched off of us. And it's pretty cool. I think we just created a donation fundraising committee with the Chubbettes. So lots of exciting things moving forward. And really, it's just, if I can give any advice, yeah, like you said earlier, just make sure you start something with this. If you're 35, if you're 40, if you're 45, just get something with close buddies and see how far you can take it.
I will say, obviously, I'm the one who runs most of it, but I really recommend, if you want a good laugh every now and then too, to follow the Chubbs on Instagram. We always do some fun stuff, and really looking forward to it. And in all honesty, if you ever have questions about starting your own Chubbs type of tournament, I know there's a couple other ones out there. Just ask Dustin. He'll love to tell you about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we'll put you on the wait list.
All right. So now that that's done, it's time to move into our Tourism Red Deer Spotlight. And this one's a little different. It's summertime. You know, there's so much to do. And first, we're going to talk about something I think really cool that Tourism Red Deer is doing. It's basically a staycation package. They're partnering with Microtel Inn and Suites by Wyndham, Holiday Inn and Suites, Radisson Hotel, and Town Place Inn and Suites, and maybe more to come. But they're doing, they've got 3 packages basically. You can do friends and family, the romantic rendezvous, which London and I will probably do, and a golf getaway. So it's really aimed at, I'm not giving you a chance to say no. I'm going to just keep talking. So
Let's do the golf getaway if we're doing any of those.
We'll see. That one's sold out.
Isn't every night a romantic rendezvous on Teasdale Drive?
Yeah, just not at our house.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of other houses on Teasdale Drive. But then they're partnered up with other Tourism Red Deer members as well, local restaurants and shops. And so when you check in, you'll get basically your discount staycation card for all those businesses too. So something I think obviously we're all going to try, but I just think it's a really cool way. Obviously, everyone's got the travel bug, going to go all over the place this summer, but pretty important to just take a night, even especially parents or whatever, take a night for yourselves and support the local economy.
We've done it a few times with our family and young kids. It is like a staycation. It's just a change of scenery for the kids. You know, you get to go to the hotels, jump in the pools, do something a little different. I think the golf getaway one is really cool because we're really spoiled in central Alberta. There's a ton of really beautiful golf courses around here, and we have a really good reputation outside of the region for that. So sometimes you need something different, especially after the year and a half we've had. So go spend a night in one of these great hotels and get out to some of these awesome golf courses, or stay in the honeymoon suite.
Yeah, and going back to what Ted mentioned earlier with the travel bug, there is going to be a lot of people like that, but there's also going to be a lot of people, you know, I don't know where I fall quite yet, but of people who are going to be a little bit nervous to travel post-COVID and hop on an airplane, you know. So if you want to get away, from the kids for a night, like Kev said, or if you want to bring your kids to have some pool parties and order some pizza and make a fun event out of it, I think Tourism Red Deer's come up with a pretty cool package to do that and support, you know, local and keep our money here.
It's also really easy to get in a rut in your own city. You go to the same grocery store, you go to the same restaurant, you do the same things because it's easy, it's convenient, you don't have to think about it. And I think things like this are a really great way to remind you that there's a lot to still see and do in Red Deer and things that you haven't explored, and to kind of broaden your horizons and try something new in your own city.
And I think another part of this too, when you think about friends and family, is if you do have family come in from out of town, and for whatever reason, you don't want them necessarily to stay with you, well, you do this package, get some deals to it, and you can, some places you already know, you can show them around town and get a deal on it too, which I think is maybe an underrated one. Like I said, I know family is great, maybe the first night they stay with you, and after that, maybe not so much.
Yeah, maybe they stink and you don't want them to stink up your whole house, or maybe they're just really annoying after a long weekend and you want to put them up in a nice hotel.
Maybe you live in their basement.
Yeah. Maybe your roommates overstayed his welcome, and you
sorry for paying your mortgage,
and you just want to give them a good gift, so you get them a staycation.
Yeah, you should send them on
staycation.
You should send them on the permanent friends and family staycation, eh, Lundy?
If you're paying for it, sure.
Yeah, I'll pay for it with your credit card.
You spend less than I will on it. So really, the whole point of this is, I'm going to say the line they gave me. They want you to get out of the gray and experience the colors of Tourism Red Deer. this summer. So I think that's pretty important. So as always, you can go to visitreddeer.com for more information on that. Get out there and do what this summer, Lund?
Vote.
And
Explore Red Deer's backyard.
all right, that only took 2 tries. That's pretty good.
You were sitting on that
Yeah.
boat for a while.
Yeah,
eh?
I was. I sit on a lot of stuff.
Whoa.
That didn't come out right.
Keep that in.
Yeah, that's going to be one I sit on for a while, pun intended, wondering if I keep it or not. But one last thing on the tourism front, because we owe a huge thank you to a member, PV Mart, who I didn't know their like headquarters was in Red Deer, and they're building that cool new flagship store in Red Deer. But they gave us $10, $50 gift cards to give away this summer, so we're going to do that in a bunch of different ways, and just wanted to give them a quick shout out for that.
Did you know that PV Mart has hardware and a whole lot more?
I do now.
Well, you're welcome.
It actually is like, I was there the other day. It is a cool store. It's a lot of fun. There's the camping, like obviously the farming supply, like outdoor supplies.
And they're just in construction for their like flagship location.
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Oh.
know that.
I didn't
Yeah.
know Ted just said that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I wasn't
Man,
listening.
I took your phone away and you're still not paying attention.
Got a little cobwebs up there.
When Lundy, when you just said that slogan, like they used to have a jingle like that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
Can you give it to us?
PV Mart, hardware and a whole lot more.
And
That was worth it.
We're going to sell that
Yeah.
back to PV Mart now.
Okay, so now that I screwed up the one, I think it's important too. I don't see it on your whiteboard over there, Ted, but another Tourism Red Deer partner, Troubled Monk, for having us out or making us a cask night for Troubled Tea at Cilantro and Chive. It's probably past now by the time this is released, but yeah, huge shout out to them for helping us build our brand and build theirs at the same time.
I am glad you brought that up because that was a lot of fun. And man, I did not sweat one bit in there. It was all, my shirt stayed dry and not see-through. I just want everyone to know that. So just a shout out again to Door Tender when we're talking about booze, as always. You know what? They provide some beverages for us to drink while we're recording, and happy first birthday to them. Now it's be a couple weeks past at this point, but man, they sure were busy that day. They had the $1 beer and wine. So pretty cool, again, to see a business start and flourish during a pandemic where unfortunately a lot of businesses struggle, but great to see them doing well. And as always too, make sure you're using that Oh Dear Summer code for $10 off your next order and help make it the best summer ever.
Agreed. Wait. I agree, Ted.
Use code Oh Dear Summer for $10 off your next purchase.
Oh yeah, let's use that instead.
That's good, Ryan says
Oh,
from the
that's
back.
good.
So still lots to get to here, and I think we have our first F in learn a new skill and pay the bill. I gave it a bit of a go. My heart wasn't in it to learn the unicycle, so I'm taking you guys out for dinner and drinks. Unicycle is back on spin diesel, so it's still, someone can still do it, and we're gonna spin again here. We're going to have a little bit more time to do it, but someone's going to have this summer to basically learn a new skill or pay the bill. And because I've already done 2, and as a rookie, coworker Aaron has taken my spot on the wheel. So everyone real quick, pick a color between dark purple, light purple, blue, and green.
Blue. It's not hard, guys.
Okay, I'll go green.
I'll go dark purple.
Well, then Aaron's
guess-
going light purple.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
Dustin,
yeah.
You ready for it?
give her a spin. We're going to see who has to do this first.
No, I'm all right. I got this. I can do a headstand.
No,
the next.
No, that's just to pick
the
who.
pick.
That's
Oh.
just so we know it's you.
Oh,
Now we got to
Now
spin
we
again.
spin.
oh, I don't like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, so
Here we go.
Do you want to reconsider if you're in or not?
Too late.
Here's what you're doing, Aaron.
handstand.
All right.
Wait, can you do a handstand?
I cannot. I have been working all year in quarantine on my headstands. So I feel confident that the handstand is the next evolution.
So what was the rule with the
10
handstand?
seconds.
So
10
at the-
seconds?
Yeah.
10 seconds, 15.
And no wall support?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's an easy one. So,
Yeah.
hey, during the best summer ever bash at Bose, that's going to be, so you're going to have lots of time.
I will publicly do a handstand and I will not wear a dress to that event.
Well, there goes our ticket sales, I guess. Yeah.
Or
Well,
maybe
thanks-
she will.
Thanks for
You'll have to
participating.
buy a
Aaron.
ticket and find out.
See, Aaron, I told you if you stood in for me, it would be you.
This
Walsh
is
and I are off
These
the hook
two
again.
jerks.
this is terrible. I hate it. Thank you for making
That's
me a
not a
part of
bad
it.
one though.
No. I am excited.
And plus you'll learn a good life skill.
Yeah. Or I'll fail like Ted has at all of them.
Yeah.
I did okay at the first one.
You're batting 500. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's 50% is a pass, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, Spin Diesel goes away until I guess the next time either me or Lund has to do something. So
Yeah, Walshy.
good luck, Aaron. You two, I don't know, you two suck. All right, well, here's a skill that Lund honestly is starting to master because it's time to head into deer call.
You sounded like a cat.
A wounded cat.
Yeah.
Well, that's what attracts the deer.
Deer Call is brought to you by Andrew Russell and Associates. Out of all the realtors in central Alberta, Andrew is one of them. And if you're looking to buy or sell a home, visit andrewrussell.ca.
And tell him Lundy sent you.
All we're going to hear is just a hand on a mic and then Lundy sent you.
We might have to change up the slogan because Lundy sent no one.
Yeah. I think now, though, with things opening up, I think it's going to happen.
All right.
Yeah, I do too. I'm going to start sending people now. I've been lying the last 4 months. I haven't sent anybody.
But you will.
Well, yeah, I just pointed at the camera and said it was.
I got to say one quick thing about Andrew because at the Waterbury Open, I played the 9 holes with him. Great time, first of all, and talk again about a guy, businesses supporting businesses. He golfed with Matt Cassidy and said, probably going to have to switch my insurance now. So if you're wondering what type of guy Andrew is.
He's insured.
Yeah. How'd you know I was going to say that?
I was wondering where we're going with that.
I thought we were going to say he's beyond a realtor.
I was not going to say that. And I'm glad I didn't because it wasn't that funny.
Beyond insurance?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay.
we all understood it, but
You didn't like it, Lundy?
no, I hated it. Just absolutely
liked it.
detested it. Aaron's
Yeah.
having like a seizure over there.
I'm Lund's biggest fan. I'm sorry.
Well,
Okay.
so this deer call, we asked people, Lund, you may have to sit out on this one.
No, I've got one for
Do
this
you?
one. Oh yeah.
It's not some people, we asked people what's their weirdest pet peeve or hang up. We got some maybe pet peeves people think are normal, or think aren't normal, but are. But we'll start with a couple. Like Julia said, her biggest pet peeve is people who ask questions that can be Googled, which is a guy, like a social media guy. Some people think I'm the IT guy at work too. Like that's a big one. We're all guilty of it. But when someone else does it to you, like when someone, especially they're playing on their phone, it's like, hey, do you know what the capital of Saskatchewan is? Like, pick up your phone. I think these are all going to be my pet peeves by the end of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes you just want to make conversation with people though too.
Yeah. Well, I know
'Cause
you
you can-
love asking questions that no one could possibly know the answer to.
Yeah, because I like making conversation. Like I like building that connection with human beings. Can you imagine if we just Googled everything all the time? We'd never talk to each other.
Well, I think part of it is that we all grew up before Google and the internet and cell phones, and we remember those times where you did have those good conversations. And
On MSN.
yeah,
Or a guy came to your house and tried to sell you encyclopedias.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder what that guy's doing now for work. It's going to be tough. Probably not much.
I do agree with Julia on that in the fact that I hate, or it's a pet peeve of mine when people ask for directions somewhere when they're got their phone out.
Like
You
your
mean like-
dad?
You mean like when your dad called me to ask directions to Sawback, the one guy who's lived in Red Deer the least?
You know, the brewery's the best.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
just wanted to talk to me.
Yeah, you're the most trustworthy.
I would say in that vein, though, huge pet peeve, don't give me directions, give me an address so that I can
Yeah.
put it into my phone.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I would have
Like when people say head east 3.5 kilometers and you're sitting there trying to figure out which way's east.
Well,
That's
you used to-
definitely a generational thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you used to have to do that because on the map it was like a fingernail was like a mile.
That's how you measured it.
Is that true?
yeah, there's scale. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
That's how you
I
would
know
do
you
it.
guys
So
are all
you're
laughing
just-
at me, but I'm pretty right on this one.
I'm going to have to Google
it.
that.
We'll
Yeah.
Google it. Yeah. So another one, this is again, I don't think it's a weird hang up. Katie hates pajama pants in public. I
Yeah.
remember that was like a university, that was like the thing was pajama pants.
I think it depends where in public. Like if you're out at dinner or something or a restaurant, yeah, that's dumb.
Would name a place in public where that's like socially acceptable.
Blockbuster, picking up a movie for later.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah,
If Blockbuster
maybe.
existed. Yeah.
Ad read shout out there.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Blockbuster.
For the one Blockbuster in
Blockbuster.
Oregon or wherever it is.
Yeah, maybe they'll sponsor us.
maybe let's Zellers or Kmart too, or
Yeah,
what other?
if you have to just run out and pick up one thing at this.
Radio Shack.
I would say like I've been guilty of it, of like running to the grocery store on a Saturday morning because we ran out of milk.
Yeah.
So it's like 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, like really
Just a
quick,
quick
like
stop.
quick
Yeah.
stop.
It's
if you're
even
making-
quicker to just put real pants on.
You can always put on
Yeah.
pants.
But they make PJs so comfortable nowadays that like, what's the point in changing? If you're going to be in and out and back on your couch in no time.
Here's one that it's kind of weird, and I do this. Amanda hates when people take food out of the microwave with like 5 seconds left instead of waiting till it beeps. That's like a fun game, trying to catch it right before the beep.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah,
me
seconds
neither.
matter if you're melting butter
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
You want to soften it?
So that is a weird hang up then.
Yeah.
Joe said people who squeeze the toothpaste in the middle.
Oh yeah,
What's the easiest place to squeeze it from?
psychopaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, future serial killers.
So you,
What do? You like roll it
Oh,
up
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
bottom?
Yeah, you go from the
okay.
bottom and then
I've never heard
squeeze
of
it
that
to the
before.
top.
I just
Like
don't
right
brush
from
my
the start
teeth.
when it's full, you start rolling it?
Wow, no.
You probably grab and squeeze in the middle
Yeah.
when it's
Well,
full.
when it's full, that's a different story. But when it's half used, you want to start that roll nice and early.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes common sense isn't so common.
Yeah, it's true.
Actually, I got one. People say shit like that.
People who call you out.
Yeah. All right. Next.
Jolene from Memphis Blues says, when people say you know what I mean more than once in a conversation or a sentence, which I know what she means.
I think it's like when people say like.
Yeah.
It's just like a.
No, that's different.
That's different. It's like a speech thing. Like
Yeah.
it's a hitch or
I know
something
what
they
you
rely on.
Yeah, it's
I know what you mean.
it's similar to doing or ah.
Yeah.
When
is
you can't
basically
find the
what it
word.
is. Yeah.
It's a placeholder.
This is kind of weird. I guess they would know. Gord's Smoke Shop said people who keep money in their socks and bras, especially when it's hot and sweaty.
Like who carries money anymore?
Sweaty people.
Yeah.
Humid
Ted.
titties.
Ted must be carrying a
Man,
lot
we've
of
gone
money.
like 13 episodes and never saying titties, and we've said it like 8 times in this one.
Humidity.
Oh, you're on a roll. And Stefan, here's one. People who sneeze more than once, which is a weird pet peeve because like I can't help it.
I think, most people probably do.
Yeah.
sneeze more than
I
once.
don't love people who sneeze.
Well, how about your bullshit sneezes? Let's talk about Erin's fake sneezes. She goes, like, that's not a real sneeze.
No,
you
no.
lie to us every time
Are
you
you holding
sneeze.
them in? 'Cause
I
that's
go,
not good for you.
Once,
Yeah.
like a normal person, I don't sneeze 7 times in a row before I'm done.
But people can't help that. Or you say full sentences. She goes, geez. Like, that's not a real sneeze if you can say words.
I just try and get it. I don't care how many sneezes it takes.
Yeah.
I just need to get
I'm a double
get it out.
sneezer. I always have 2.
Sometimes I'll do 3.
So, Stefan, this podcast is not for you, I guess. But
Yeah.
thanks for listening.
Cross him off the list.
So here's my personal one that I don't know why. Like I really is nothing against them. I'm a very outgoing person, but like when I'm getting a haircut or even like at the dentist or whatever, I hate making small talk. Especially like if you go somewhere where you have a different person every time, you don't really know them. And it's like, I'll tell you one thing, like I went to a barber shop frequently before I started going to one person every time, and I had the same girl like 3 times in a row, and every time she made small talk, like she didn't remember me, and so would ask the same questions. I had to sit. I'm like, I can either make this awkward and just say, hey, no, I've been here before, but I missed my window. So every time I just sit there and answer the same questions.
You
and
missed
just wear it.
opportunity, man. You could have invented a whole new Ted.
There's no one I would rather be than me,
Yeah.
except for like most people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't improve on mediocrity.
Yeah.
Teddy, it's funny you mentioned that. I think I've told you this story before, but I had the exact same thing happen. And I don't mind small talk. So I got my haircut, probably about 3 months ago. And I got it cut from a guy, which that's not my pet peeve, but it is a little bit weird when you get your haircut from a dude. But anyway, the
Well,
issue...
because it's like a barber versus a hairdresser
Yeah.
too. Like there is a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, but my issue though is, so he sat me down, did like 2 quick clips, and I think I sneezed or coughed.
How many times?
Well, I can't remember, but let's just say once, so Aaron doesn't get mad at me. And then he goes, "Oh man, you okay? You can take off your mask." And I went, "No, I'm okay." And he goes, "Oh, this COVID's all a hoax." And I thought, like, okay, here we go. Like this guy's gonna go off on COVID and his conspiracy theories. I was only half right. He didn't go off on COVID at all. He just started spouting off other conspiracy theories, because 2 seconds later he was talking to me about, "Hey, did you see all these German scientists getting kidnapped? Yeah, they're falling off the map, and they're making some sort of anti-gravity machine." And I'm like, "What?" So, and he's got scissors in his hand, so I just have to agree with him because he's in charge of cutting my hair. So he's going on. He's going on and on about this conspiracy theory where all these German physicists are getting kidnapped to build some sort of alien anti-gravity machine because there's aliens in every city around here. And anyway, my haircut took about 45 minutes. It usually takes about 7 minutes, and it was just one of those things where I couldn't do anything. I was trapped in the chair, just nodding, and all I could see was my eyes because I had my mask on still. But that was just like one of the weirdest haircuts I've ever had. And the worst part is he actually did a pretty good job too. So I went back there a few weeks ago hoping to get him again because I could
learn some new stuff.
Learn some new conspiracy theories. But he wasn't there, and I got a mediocre haircut this time. So anyway, yeah, I don't mind small talk. And
see, I wish I was in another chair when that was happening. Like just being, and that's, I think for me, it's like, I don't like other people hearing my conversation.
Yeah,
is what it is. And it's always like, where do you work? Where, what, this and that. And then there's like nothing for 5 minutes. And then they try to break the silence again.
Yeah, this was not normal.
Yeah. And banter. I get it too, because it's probably weird for them, the hairdresser, to like be quiet and awkward. But you'd think for a guy who loves to talk about himself, right? Like that's what's kind of weird is in that kind of setting. I don't like it.
Well, yeah, and the thing was too, I mean, he was so backlogged with haircuts because, I mean, I had to wait another like half hour after my time was booked because he was busy telling other people's stories. But they probably keep him on the payroll because he does a good job. So
they charge you by the minute.
Yeah,
just like this story, it keeps going on and on.
No, I'm sorry, Kev. Go ahead.
I got nothing.
Yeah, he used up his 9-hour story right off the hop.
Yeah, that's true. So
you don't have any weird pet peeves or hangups that just like,
I wouldn't say weird. It's just people that aren't on time.
You've been late to like the last 5 recordings.
That's usually you.
That's because I thought it was a time range. But no, I'm not. I'm saying for more important things in this podcast.
Yeah.
Are we going personal pet peeves?
Yeah.
Because like I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I don't have too many pet peeves, but if I chose one, it would be when driving in traffic, when you let somebody in or somebody has a signal light on there beside you and you slow down, you let them in and they don't give you the old wave. Drives me absolutely bonkers.
That's not a weird one though. That's just manners.
Well, yeah, but it's maybe a little bit weird and a little bit road ragey. I don't know, but it's just one of my hangups. I like not scream, but I'm like, oh, just wave. It would just make me so much happier because you just want to be a good polite driver and let people around the roads. But God, that drives me nuts. You guys know?
Yeah,
I'm with you on that one.
So that's my one.
That's for me. It's just manners in general, right?
Yeah,
that goes with
I'd agree with that.
I forgot to say Ashley's because you just remember this has nothing to do with that, but hers and I'm on board. You guys know I'm on board with this one. Is the sound of people chewing. And especially like in a COVID era when everything was over Zoom, I was so sick of hearing people eat chips while we were playing NHL and just right in the microphone.
Was that Kev or Dylan?
Well, it was both. Kevin, I think was more of a Zoom chip
I was
eater.
Pretty good about putting myself on mute.
We listened to Dustin's brother-in-law gain about 27 pounds because all he did was snack M&Ms and chips and mini eggs. But that's a big one, and that's why I give you guys shit all the time too on your microphones and stuff. And I try to end it. I think some people notice, some people don't. Aaron, what's that called? Like the actual
misophonia.
Misophonia.
Yeah. Did you guys have that set up? Or
We talked about it once before, and like I for sure have that because just the like lip smacks and that just bother me a lot. Some people it doesn't, but
yeah,
it's actually genetic. Take 23andMe and you'll find out if you too have misophonia.
Is that a new sponsor?
I've got a really relevant one right now.
Uh-oh.
So when you get a sunburn, and it's pretty obvious that you have a sunburn, And you walk up to somebody and they go, holy crap, you got sunburnt. It's like, no shit, buddy. I did? You're the first fucking person to tell me I got sunburnt. Thank you. Oh my God. I didn't know I got sunburnt. I feel great. I haven't looked in the mirror all day. Like, give me a break. And it happens. It happens every time too.
Well, put on some sunscreen, bud.
I do, but I
get
sunburned quite easily.
First of all, it's great to see you fired up because nobody has zero pet peeves, and it's nice.
Yeah, I know.
You got to let it out sometimes.
This time of year, it's always reminds me.
We were not sun safe this weekend, even though we accidentally became the Visit Sylvan Lake sun safety spokespeople on Instagram. But my other thing too is I remember, and it's just kind of a pet peeve. Like, I hate how much people touch you, right? You don't realize it until like you have a sunburn and people smack you on the back or like rub your shoulder. Hey, how's it going? And the one time we did the Wine Survivor and I was emceeing it, so everyone was coming up and being like, hey, Ted, how's it going? Like, talk to me. And it every time, right? And that was like the worst sunburn I've ever had. So I will agree with that too.
I just thanks for pointing out the obvious. Not you. I'm just saying from the guys or girls that say, oh man, you got some sun. No shit. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. That's probably my only pet peeve right now.
A big one, apparently.
Well, I get burnt quite a bit, so it happens quite often.
Don't text me after 10 p.m. I don't care if it's 9:30 where you live. Don't text me after 10 p.m. my time.
Oh.
Huge pet peeve. It's rude and sometimes wakes me up and I don't like it.
Can we call?
Never call. Second pet peeve. Don't call people.
It's 2021.
Yeah, it's 2021, Aaron. Put on Do Not Disturb on your phone.
Well, no, because what if there's an emergency?
Yeah.
I get
emergencies
that part.
go through Do Not Disturb.
But then she just wouldn't, if it is an emergency, she won't be woken up by the notification.
And if I'm playing Candy Crush and it's 11 o'clock, I'm still going to see that the text came through and I'm going to be annoyed by it. Now I'm mad at you and going to sleep.
I think I probably do that to like a lot of people. Well, Dustin and I probably talk more between like 10 and 11 p.m. than any other time. So leave Aaron off that list.
Yeah. I'll never
Someone
respond.
text her right now. It's 11:21.
Yeah. I think it's okay because we're in the same room.
All right. Well, another successful edition of Deer Call. It's great to see you fired up, Lund. We didn't know if it was ever even possible, but apparently we just got to tell you when you got some sun. So before we move on to Ted versus Walsh, Dustin, we're going to let you share this news because obviously another partner of ours is the Blackfalds Bulldogs, and now we're only a couple months away from the inaugural season, and things are starting to, I guess, heat up.
Yeah, pretty exciting. You know, we're sitting here, I think it's end of June, so we're 2 months away from, you know, our main camp starting, and then, you know, September 17th, I think, is our first inaugural game and home opener in October. So, you know, season tickets are on sale right now. You know, grab those. It's going to be a pretty exciting team to watch, I think, for, you know, the first year. Brand new arena, brand new team, you know, Black Falls. It's going to be exciting times for that community. And if you want, get on the season ticket list right now. I know we have our merchandise rolling out, our Rough House, it's called, on our website. So check that out if you want to grab some merch. And you know what? I just had to say, you know, we found our newest billets, Ryan London, Ted Emmett. Thanks for housing one of the Black Falls Bulldogs in your house. Is he gonna live downstairs with Teddy?
Yeah, he's gonna stay in Ted's room.
It doesn't matter. We could say legitimately yes, and there's no way the Bulldogs brass is gonna let anyone live with us.
I'd agree with that.
I think it would be awesome, honestly, like to be a billet parent.
It's a pretty rewarding experience for both the player and the family, to be honest. I went through that process, you know, in a couple different cities, and, you know, I still keep in touch with the family that, you know, when I moved in, the kid was, I think, 6.5 months old, and now he's 12, and I still get to watch him play. I think he's now 14, actually, or 15 maybe. But, you know, really rewarding. Lots of the times you keep in touch with the family after, but yeah, we are looking for billets in the Red Deer area too. And then other than that, you know, my job working with the foundation, you know, we're getting started up with that. We're going to raise, you know, some funds for different organizations with the 50-50. We're going to get a scholarship set up and And lo and behold, a guy on our podcast is going to be sitting on the foundation board, which is pretty exciting for myself to get to work with Kev and all his business experience, finance experience, accounting experience, and just being a big businessman in Red Deer is going to be pretty cool. So lots of exciting stuff going on with the Bulldogs. I know Doug and Jody, the owners, are doing such a professional job with this Junior A team, and look forward to getting our first season going.
Yeah, well, I think you said it all, but we're all excited to see what happens too. Lots of great things happening for sports in Central Alberta, like, summer obviously with baseball right now happening in Sylvan Lake, and some great hockey now in the fall. Pretty excited to see what happens, and yeah, get out there, get your season tickets.
It'd be pretty cool to see that barn packed, and hopefully we all can make the opening night game this year.
Yeah, I think it seats around 1,500. I don't know if they've settled on a final seat count yet, but up to 2,000, I believe, with the fire code. So, the first few games, the weekend games, it would be pretty awesome to see that building, bumping and especially coming out of COVID now where we can get back into arenas and, fingers crossed anyway, and see some live sporting events. And, with the beer, you got a couple different, they kind of modeled the rink after an NHL rink a little bit with the low seating and some VIP areas and different experiences for different families or if you're going with buddies or if you want to sit in a VIP area. So they've really catered to all different kinds of people, which is awesome.
Cool. Well, looking forward to their home opener in October. That's not even going to be the hottest matchup of this year, at least not compared to Ted versus Walsh, because it is tight right now, right? It is 3-2 for Walsh. I know for a fact I have not had a lead yet. So I'm hoping to go 2 in a row here, but I got to start with 1. So yeah, let's get into it. Ted versus Walsh. Aaron, you're up after you sneeze once.
Just coughing.
Oh, cough. Okay.
Ted vs. Walsh is brought to you by Travis Kletke, chartered professional accountant and partner at Swainson Alexander, located downtown Red Deer. Building connections through exceptional service and trusted professionalism, one client at a time. Learn more at swainsonalexander.ca.
Yeah, this girl's good. I think let's recap here for maybe listeners who didn't catch the start of Ted versus Walsh. What exactly is the loser of this bet doing?
Oh boy. So the loser of this bet has to spend a full day, I think we said a Saturday, with the French tips. I think Dustin somehow knew there. Anyways, very, very long fake fingernails.
French tips is actually just a style of painting your nails. It doesn't mean anything else. It's just a white line. So you'd be going for some big, long, fake acrylic nails.
Dustin, you idiot.
Thanks a lot, Aaron.
But they could be French tips.
I tried to give you that one. But yeah, so, and basically, and it's not just have them, but we'll probably go golfing, do stuff, like some activities. And we know Walsh will probably be wearing glasses and not contacts that day. And
yeah.
I for one, will be wearing sweatpants, nothing with a zipper. It'll be a tough day.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, you're up. That's why you're up 3-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can go to the
first
mall.
1 to 5.
First
overall,
one to
right?
5.
Yeah.
Could scratch some strangers' backs, give back to the community. All right, let's play.
So today, Lundy and I came up with, I guess it's kind of a Red Deer, this day in Red Deer, would you call it, I guess? So you guys are going to be writing down a year. It's not Price is Right rules, so it's just closest to the actual year that this happened in Red Deer, Central Alberta. We have 14 questions, so they'll be quick fire-offs and 1 tiebreaker if you guys are tied. So let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with, you got any questions?
I was just say, Aaron, you'll keep score for us? Perfect.
Aaron's got the scorekeeper going.
It's late. I just want to make sure she has something to do.
So let's start off with a sponsor, one of our main ones, Bo's Bar and Stage. What year did it turn into Bo's Bar and Stage?
1996.
1996.
Did you guys both know that by chance?
Yeah. Yes.
How
I have a hat that's with the logo. It's right in the logo.
On their logo, right in the restaurant, it says established 1996.
Oh, wait, let me look at this growler. Yeah, established 1996.
Wow.
right.
Good for you
Well
boys
done.
for knowing our sponsors so well. 1-1.
All right, good luck getting this one.
Yeah, let's end it here.
When did the Red Deer Royals first form?
And who are the Red Deer Royals?
They
Just
are
a band?
They are a band. Not only just a band, Ted, they're Canada's premier marching band.
It's not a band, it's a lifestyle.
I said 1974.
1972.
The correct answer is 1969.
Oh, Kevin Walsh. All right.
That was pretty
We're on,
good.
we're on the same wavelength tonight.
Yeah, you guys are close so far. So let's see where you go with the Horton Spheroid, the Green Water Tower, the big landmark in Red Deer. When did that go up?
When the old spheroid get propped up?
1956.
I said 1951.
And the answer is 1959.
Oh my God.
Kevin.
Was that 3-1? We're like, I'm
very impressed with both of us right now.
a little more impressed with you because you're
What-
winning.
When did RDC open? And for those of you playing at home, that's Red Deer College. Now,
RDP.
Yeah.
now RDP, I guess.
I have no idea. 1985.
1975.
1964.
4-1
Wow.
Walsh.
Okay. Jeez.
All right. I think you guys will probably get this one, but what year was the World Juniors hosted in Red Deer last? And obviously with COVID times, it didn't go on last year.
This one's hard because I lived in Grand Prairie when they had the Winter Games. So now I always get them confused.
2009.
1996.
The correct answer is 1995.
Oh, like completely. Like, wasn't there some games in Red Deer when it was in Calgary and Edmonton?
Exhibition games.
Oh,
I
so you're
think.
thinking, oh, okay. That's my fault for not understanding.
I'll
5-1.
give you a quarter point.
Yeah, give him a
I'll
quarter
give you a
point.
quarter
Give him a
point.
quarter point. When did Bauer Place open its doors? Bauer Place Shopping Center.
1986.
1995.
1981.
Oh my God.
This is turning out to be a blowout.
Yeah. Wow.
I
It's
think-
almost
I
like
think
he's
you're
lived
still
in
doing
Red
a
Deer
good
10
job.
years longer than me.
All right.
This is all before he was born.
What
Wow.
year did the Red Deer Advocate start?
I said 1961.
1956.
Is it
The correct
1956?
answer is 1903.
Oh my God.
Holy.
I gotta just start saying $1.
Yeah. Let's say
$1,
1900.
Was it 7-1?
Yes.
I think it's
Oh.
7.
to 1 1/4.
Yeah.
This is a 2-part question. And
For 2 points?
for 2 points, when did the Centrium when was the Centrium built?
Why did it take you so long to ask that?
Because there's 2 different ways I could have phrased that. What year was the construction complete?
1986.
1993.
1991.
Hey,
Oh,
Teddy.
And as a follow-up, how much did the construction cost to build the Centrium?
It was built in 91.
Yeah. So and we're looking for the 1991 cost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so $91.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
12 million.
I said 3.1.
$23 million.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, 23.1 million.
All right, Ted.
So 8.2 and a quarter.
Yeah, funny enough, though, this next question's worth 2 as well. So, what year was Red Deer incorporated as a town and then a city?
So we're looking for 2 different years here.
Yeah.
2 different years.
Or maybe it's the same.
Ooh.
I said 1917 and 1939.
I said 1903 and 1921.
Daddy.
I think Teddy
Teddy.
picks up 2 here because Red Deer was incorporated as a town in 1901 and then a city in 1913.
All right.
Back in the mix.
Barely. That quarter point is going to make a
what's the
difference.
score at?
8 to 4 1/4.
How many
many-
questions are left?
I have 2 left.
I have 4 left, so there's 3 each left.
I got to run the table.
Yeah. What year did the Red Deer Costco open?
What year did the $1.50 hot dog and pop come to Red Deer?
Yes.
2002.
2007.
1996.
Ah, oh, wow. Okay. You guys have been living large here in Red Deer for a long time.
All right,
Buying
Teddy,
12
you're
of
gonna-
everything.
You're going to have to get real hot here. So, what year did the Buffalo Hotel open in Red Deer?
I don't even know what that is.
Give you a hint. It wasn't last year.
Now, is that the tallest? No, which is the one that's the tallest building in North America?
Yeah.
The Capri?
I said 1950.
1909.
The correct answer is 1891.
Oh,
Wow. That is very...
So
that
is
was
that-
even before it was a town.
you guys may
Yeah.
not know this. Is that building like still around? Like,
it's
is it a
literally
historical
down the
building?
street from where we are
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
can't
cool.
remember.
I didn't know that.
I think they've done some renos to it.
But it's still there.
Yep.
Or around. That's.
There's still the original sign is still there, which is pretty cool.
I like your guys' games because I lose most of them, but I learn something every time.
What year did the RCMP come to Red Deer?
1899.
1895.
1943.
No. Oh, really?
What?
This was
it
just
was
a
a town for 20 years
Just a
before the cops were
lawless
here?
town. Yeah.
I think they had their own police force for years.
All right, here's a good one. The first outdoor rink in Red Deer opened in.
The cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
Quarter point.
Yeah, give Ted another quarter point for that joke.
1911.
1935.
1898.
Oh, you got to just go low on some of these.
Thank you, City
That's
Red
where all
Deer.
the,
think I'm out of
that's
it
where all the
anyways,
crime
right?
happened before the cops came.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't look at who got that point, though. You did.
What year was the Red Deer Hospital built?
1901.
Like the current one, I said 1958.
1904.
That same building? Well,
I think
No.
at the same site.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
I have no
yeah.
clue.
I didn't know
about
if you
that.
meant like the one that's currently standing or it doesn't matter. I'm out of
Yeah.
it. This is just for learning.
Here's your last one. In what year did Red Deer surpass 50,000 people on the census?
Was this in our other census quiz?
No.
I'm glad you brought
You're
it back
good at,
though.
you're good at the census.
Oh, census is so much fun.
And important.
Yeah. 1974.
1969.
And the correct answer is 1983. So,
Oh,
Teddy, you picked up a
wow.
mercy point there.
We were pretty close in our guesses.
Yeah, at the start, you guys were really
Oh
close.
boy, so I'm on the ropes now.
That was an
Yeah,
absolute
yeah.
drubbing.
Good game,
Yeah.
though.
That was I'm
we
not,
did learn some
I'm not
stuff.
mad about how I did. Like it was.
Walsh is up 4-2.
Oh,
So yeah, it's always nervous when you're in an elimination
Yeah.
match. I got
Yeah.
faith in you though.
I've
So
gotta
you can
run
bring
the
it back.
table. Yeah. No, that one I liked that one again. We learned, but I would have liked it a little better if I won. But
Yeah, of
It's
course.
good effort out there.
yeah, I was just on the wrong side of you every time.
Yeah, wrong side of the couch.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. So thanks, Aaron, for keeping score. We'll look at Aaron's official score. Maybe if I slip her a 20, maybe somehow I won. But
I got distracted with doodling, so I'm not sure it's entirely accurate, but Walsh
oh,
crushed
well,
it.
you're officially part of this podcast. Then, if you got distracted partway through, I'll tell you that much. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. We maybe didn't take quite as long as I thought. It's still going to be a little bit longer episode, but again, that's it for us until September. So thank you everyone for listening. I know no one's going to really care that much that we take all of August off, but I think, we'll still be on social media. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, and subscribe to Bo's YouTube with Riley sitting here. I know he looks ready to go home, so I'm going to appease him by saying that. But
And if you're missing these guys, make sure you come to the live show on August 21st and join them at Bo's.
that almost sounded like a pre-recorded one. That was good. I was going to say, we do hope to see you at Bo's, obviously all summer too. Get out there and support local. And help us. As all, we want to pump up that logarithm on social media and YouTube. So
Log Squad, baby.
yeah. And hey, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, if you like us, give us a good review. That goes a long way as well. But thanks for sticking with us. Again, this is, we come in the studio, things get a little longer, but it's awesome to all be here together. Have Aaron here, be here with Ryan and Riley. And again, Communal Creative Studios by Bo's. Give them a call. They are doing some incredible stuff. Probably like busy, like crazy busy, like from 0 to 60. Hey, Riley, yeah, he's nodding yes. Like, yeah, I'm busy. I want to go home. Wrap this the hell up. So thank you again to Jarrett Smith and the Unparalleled Clothing Company for sponsoring this episode, for all the support they do from us. Again, we've got the Oh Dear hats. As always, thank you to Bo's Bar and Stage, our presenting sponsor. And yeah, final thoughts for everyone.
Yeah, just thank you to everyone who's listened to 1 or 14 of our episodes. I think it's pretty cool that we've been able to get to episode 14. Obviously, huge shout out to these guys with the studio. It's crazy awesome that we're sitting on couches right here with some pretty awesome mics and 5 cameras and lights in front of us. It feels surreal. And other than that, have a great summer. We'll see you hopefully at the live show and maybe the treasure hunt that's kind of in the midst or just past. So hopefully we saw you and checked you out on that. And yeah, again, just thanks and look forward to, hopefully many more years of doing this if Ted can stay sane.
That's what the August break is for.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, thanks, guys. This was a blast to get together again. Really missed it and looking forward to the next few months when we can all get together. And just wanted to throw out a bonus Glad game. Hopefully when this comes out, this heat wave is over. But just a big shout out to the Mustard Seed for collecting a lot of bottled water, sunscreen, all that kind of stuff for those less fortunate. population and to all the local businesses that have donated. I was lucky enough to be able to go and give some water here this morning, and they said they've collected 40,000 bottles. And when I showed up, there was 5 other vehicles in the parking lot giving water. So really awesome to see the community come together.
Yeah.
Way to go, Red Deer and Central Alberta.
Yeah. And for me, I know I'm sunburnt. You don't have to tell me to my face. I have eyeballs. So thank you so much.
Aaron?
Wear sunscreen.
Well, hey, that's a great way to end. So thank you again, everyone. Have the best summer ever. Keep crushing it. And we'll see you in September.